Hello students, myself KS Patil. I am lecturer in SR Patil Junior College, Physics Department Akola. Students, in this lecture we have to discuss short answer for 2 marks of lesson number 7 wave optics. Your first question is that what are secondary sources? State hygiene's principle. But in textbook you have to given primary and secondary sources both are given. At first I told to tell you about primary sources. Primary sources are sources that emit light of their own due to their high temperature and the effect of current being passed through them. That means sun and stars are the natural sources, primary sources, and tube light, TV are the man made primary sources. In this question, we have to discuss secondary sources. Secondary sources are those sources which do not produce light of their own but receive light from some other sources and either reflect or scattered it around. For example, the moon, the planet, and objects. Then you have asked about here state hygiene's principle. Statement of hygiene's principle is each point on the wavefront acts as secondary source of light, emitting secondary light waves called wavelets in all directions, which travel with the speed of light in the medium. The new wavefront can be obtained by taking the envelope of these secondary wavelets traveling in the forward direction and is thus the envelope of the secondary wavelets in forward direction. The wavelets traveling in the backward direction are ineffective. Then next one is problem. A plane wavefront of light of wavelength 5500 angstrom unit is incident on the two slits is in a screen perpendicular to the direction of light rays. If the total separation of 10 bright fringes on a screen 2 meter away is 2 centimeter, find the distance between the slits. Here you have to give one lambda, then distance between 10 fringes 2 centimeter, then capital D is also given here 2 meter. Fringe width is given here 0, that is 0.02. Then you have to calculate here that fringe width is given for 10 fringes, that is 2 centimeter or 0.02 meter, that can be divided by 10. Then we have getting that fringe width for one fringe. Then you have to calculate here distance between the slits, that is small d. Formula is that fringe width W is equal to lambda d by d, and whenever you have to put the value, you have getting the distance between the two slits is equal to 5.5 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter. Then next question is state any four conditions for obtaining well defined and steady interference pattern. First condition is that the two source of light must be coherent. That two sources of light must be coherent. Why it can be coherent? If the two sources are not coherent, then what's happening? If we use two independent source of light, phase difference between two waves at a point in a medium changes continuously. Due to this, at any point in a medium, intensity does not remain constant. Therefore, a point will appear bright for a moment, while for next moment it will appear as a dark, and steady interference pattern will not be obtained. If that two sources are coherent, that they will emit light waves of constant phase difference. Hence, the point of constructive interference appears as bright and point of destructive interference appears as dark throughout the experiment. That's why we have getting steady interference pattern. That's why we have says that the two sources of light must be coherent. Then second condition is that the two source of light must be monochromatic. Why it can be monochromatic? The two source of light must be monochromatic. Why it can be? If that two sources are not monochromatic, then that they will emit light waves of different wavelengths and colors. Hence, each color will produce its own independent interference pattern in the same region, and number of patterns will overlap on each other. So, interference pattern will be colored. There may be constructive interference at one point due to one wavelength and destructive interference at the same point due to another wavelength. This gives diffused and indistinct pattern. That's why we can say that two sources are monochromatic. They will emit light waves of only one wavelength and single color. Hence, we have getting constructive interference as well as destructive interference are obtained separately and due to steady interference pattern. Then next condition is that the two interference waves must have same amplitude. If that two waves have no same amplitude, then constructive interference will not be completely bright and point of destructive interference will not be completely dark. Hence, the interference pattern will consist of alternate bright bands and less bright band, that is, interference pattern will not be clear and distinct. That's why, if that two light waves are having equal amplitude, then maximum contrast would be obtained, as the dark fringes will have zero intensity, and hence point of destructive interference appears as dark point and point of constructive interference appears as a bright point. Then we have getting steady interference pattern. Then next condition is that the separation between the two slits d, small d, must be small in comparison to the distance between the plane containing the slit and the observing screen d. Then next condition is that the two slits should be narrow. If that two slits are not narrow, then what's happening? A wide source of light is equivalent to large number of point sources. If we use wide source, out of all point sources, too many produce constructive interference and other two may produce destructive interference at the same point. So we will get uniform illumination on screen. That means interference pattern will not be clear and distinct. That's why if we have to use narrow source of light are used, then the interference pattern is obtained due to two independent source of light. Hence, interference pattern will be clear and distinct. Hence, to obtain clear and distinct interference pattern, source must be narrow. And last, that is, the two waves should be in the same state of polarization. You have to write in exam any 4 points and only write down like this, that is, the two source of light must be coherent, two source of light must be monochromatic, the two interfering wave must have same amplitude, and the two slits should be narrow. The next question is, draw a neat label ray diagram for Fresnel biprism experiment showing the region of interference. Here, this is the Fresnel biprism experiment diagram. Then next question is, what is optical path length? How is it different from actual path length? When a wave travels a distance delta x through a medium having refractive index of n, its phase changes by the same amount as it would if the wave had traveled a distance n delta x in vacuum. Thus, a path length of delta x in a medium of refractive index n is equivalent to a path length of n delta x in vacuum. N delta x is called as the optical path traveled by a wave. This means optical path through a medium is the effective path traveled by light in vacuum to generate the same phase difference. Optical path in a medium can also be defined as the corresponding path in vacuum that the light travels in the same time as it takes in the given medium, and that is time is equal to distance upon velocity. We know that formula, that time is equal to distance in medium upon velocity in medium is equal to distance in vacuum upon velocity in vacuum, and d vacuum is equal to v vacuum upon v medium into d medium is equals to n into d medium. But d vacuum is equal to optical path, that's why optical path is equal to n into d medium. Thus a distance d traveled in a medium of refractive index n introduces a path difference is equal to nd minus d is equal to d into n minus 1 over a ray traveling equal distance through vacuum. The next question is that what is the difference between Fresnel and Fraunhofer diffraction? Fresnel diffraction, that is first point, is source of light and screen are kept at finite distance, and in Fraunhofer source of light and screen are at infinite distance. And in Fresnel diffraction, second point is spherical or cylindrical wavefront are considered because that source of light and screen are at finite distance. Because of due to that finite distance, here there is the formation of spherical wavefront, and in Fraunhofer there is infinite distance between the source and the screen. That's why here we have to getting plane wavefront. Then third point is it is observed in straight edge, narrow slit, etc. It is observed in single slit or double slit, etc. Lenses are not used, convex lens are used. Then next one is compare Young's double slit interference pattern and single slit diffraction pattern. Here you have to given at first physical quantities, that is dimension of slit, size of pattern obtained. That physical quantities are compared here in Young's double slit interference pattern and single slit diffraction pattern. So dimension of slit, for a common laboratory setup, the slits in the Young's double slit experiment are much thinner than their separation. They are usually obtained by using a biprism or a Lloyd's mirror. The separation between the slits is a few only. Then in single slit diffraction pattern, the single slit used to obtain the diffraction pattern is usually of width less than 1 mm. Then second physical quantity, size of pattern obtained. With best possible setup, observer can usually see about 30 to 40 equally spaced bright and dark fringes of nearly same brightness. And in single slit diffraction pattern, size of pattern obtained taken on either side, observer can see around 20 to 30 fringes with central fringe being the brightest. Then next quantity is fringe width W. W is equal to lambda d by d, and here fringe width W is equal to lambda d upon A except for the central bright fringes. For nth bright fringe and for nth dark fringe, that phase difference phi between extreme rays n into twice pi. Here phase difference phi between extreme rays n plus 1 half into twice pi or n plus 1 into pi. Here that conditions are the, given here, and that conditions are given here. That conditions are same, and that conditions are same. That total conditions are useful for solve objectives. That's why that is important. You have to read carefully and write down that formulas. Then next question is that white light consists of wavelength from 400 nm to 700 nm. What will be the wavelength range seen when white light is passed through glass of refractive index 1.55? Here you have to given refractive index n is equal to 1.55. Smallest wavelength is given here 400 nm. Largest wavelength also given 700 nm. And here we have to calculate range of wavelength of light when passed through glass. That means lambda medium is equal to lambda vacuum upon n. This formula is used for shortest wavelength and largest wavelength. It can be separately calculated, and you have getting that values in for smallest wavelength in glass, that is lambda is equal to 400 upon 1.55, and you have to getting answer 258.06 nm. And for largest wavelength we have to getting 451.61 nm. Then next question is that the optical path of a ray of light of a given wavelength traveling a distance of 3 cm in flint glass having refractive index 1.6 is same as that on traveling a distance x centimeter through a medium having refractive index 1.25. Determine the value of x. You have to given here d1 is equal to 3 centimeter, n1 is equal to 1.6, n2 is equal to 1.25, and you have to calculate here d2. That's why we have to use that formula n1 d1 is equal to n2 d2, and d2 is calculated, and that value is here, that is 3.84. Okay students, here we have to discuss 2 marks question for lesson number 7 wave optics as per Maharashtra State Board. Thank you.